Hello, welcome to my channel, and I'm going to do a reading for all of us, collective reading, on the current energies that we are currently in. Today is February 12th, and the moon is currently in Scorpio. I want to talk a little bit about some of the energies that are opening up for us in this week to come, as well as what we have been working through so far since the full moon in Leo, which was pretty intense and powerful, as they always are, but they seem to be getting more and more potent. Well, one of the number one reasons is that we have Pluto, the planet of transformation, at the very end degrees of Capricorn. 29 degrees of Capricorn, considered the anaretic degree. Very intense, very powerful energy. And now we are we're going through Mercury, who is now out of post-retrograde shadow, in a conjunction to Pluto, which is becoming tighter and tighter as we move into this week to come. Mars is also in a square to Chiron, which is highlighting our childhood wounds. Let's start with that one, because that is probably the strongest aspect that we are in currently. And this is all about truly healing, but first acknowledging our hidden traumas, our early woundings, especially regarding how we initiate something new for ourselves, or just start a project, start a conversation, as well as how we confront ourselves and others truthfully, the woundings that keep us in a certain pattern, so we're able to see more of ourselves, more of our blind spots or subconscious parts with this energy, especially when it comes to the actions that we take, the things that we do. Mercury conjuncting Pluto is showing us our patterns in the minds, our thoughts, our beliefs, and it's really working to help us release and let go of outdated thought patterns and beliefs, releasing a lot of the parts. I mean, we have the opportunity to release. We can certainly hold on if we'd like to, but a lot of the parts of ourselves, the stories, the beliefs, the thought patterns that keep us held in a certain lifestyle, a certain way of being, certain experiences. This is also helping us analyze our psychological patterns deeper. So this one's a deep one, and we're going into this week with that conjunction becoming tighter and tighter. We also have, as we move towards, well, I'll just say Valentine's Day, for anybody who actually does still celebrate Valentine's Day, we have Venus in a conjunction to Neptune. So this is beautiful but dreamy energy, romantic energy. We can almost over idealize other people and our situations, though, so you want to be mindful of that. In help to balance that energy, Saturn is also in a conjunction to the Sun, and that brings more of a reality check energy to us, and having us kind of take accountability for ourselves, take responsibility for our lives and for ourselves. So those are the main energies that we are dealing with, working through. I hate to say dealing with, working through this week and this week to come. And we're gonna start by pulling some cards and seeing what comes through as far as messages for us all. So I hope that everyone is doing well. I wanted to come on live. I just don't have a whole lot of time this morning. So I figured just shooting a video is probably the best, because sometimes when I go live, I can really get, it can go on for a while. It's fun, and I look forward to doing that very soon. But today just didn't allow for the time for it. So let's take a breath. Call in the guides and see what messages come through for us. And I hope that my volume is loud enough. I apologize. I am working towards getting new equipment. But until then, we'll have to make do with what we have. All right. So please give us messages for the collective energy. First card we have is freedom. I possess the power and free will to create my own happiness. Definitely a lesson for all of us when we get stuck in old patterns. And a lot of us have been kind of in one aspect or many aspects of our lives have kind of been pulled into an area to show us that we have sort of gotten in our own way as far as our growth and our evolution to move out of or move through maybe some tough situations in our lives. But we actually do possess that free will. We create our own happiness, our own reality. The choices that we make, the decisions that we make, are they for you or are they for others? And there's a fine line there, of course, because we do have loved ones, family, children, others that we care about. So it's not that we don't want to keep caring about others, but when we're not looking at ourselves, are we happy? Are we fulfilled in all areas of life? Or are there certain areas where you feel bound? This is talking of freedom, freeing ourselves, free your mind, and the rest will follow. Isn't that a song, right? All right, let's keep going here. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Here's that reality check as well with Saturn. And yes, not everybody is going to be honest with us. That's not our responsibility. It is our responsibility to be honest with ourselves and with others. Expect that you're honest with yourself at all times. Taking responsibility for our lives, our happiness, our sense of fulfillment, and taking accountability for maybe the choices that we made that got us into sticky situations, tricky situations. And don't ever think that you're stuck in those situations forever. This energy is truly helping to free and liberate us from all of that. I feel like many of you, I know I've experienced this already, with Mercury. Mercury can be quite the trickster at times, meaning that it's linked to our minds, our thoughts, right? And our minds can trick us. And they have many times, especially if your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindset isn't truly linked to your intuition. It's more linked to others, what you've been taught, what's been programmed in you. We have a choice. We have a chance to get real and get honest with ourselves, to free ourselves from the prison of the mind. And we have blame and doubt at the bottom. I accept responsibility for my own well-being. So again, I'm reading that Saturn, the sun in a conjunction with Saturn, as well as some of the other transits. Being honest with ourselves about how old childhood wounding that may have been suppressed, repressed, hidden in a blind spot, showing itself, it's time to acknowledge those things about ourselves and work through them, work through healing them. Blame, I accept responsibility for my own well-being. Releasing the blame. Releasing the blame from anybody or anything outside of ourselves and taking full responsibility and accountability for our lives. Doubt at the bottom. I release the need to know all of the answers. And I feel like there are many that are still sort of stuck in that, doubting that anything better than what they're currently experiencing exists for them. Because it's not clear. It's the unknown. It's something to fear. I think I'm going to get a couple more before we go into the tarot. This might be for those who have really been stuck in a victim mentality for too long. Not saying that what hasn't happened didn't happen and did not cause trauma and pain and worry and fear, but how long can you truly stay in that energy and live your life? Be happy, be free to be yourself, be free to live your life to your best ability, living your best life. It's really time to get honest and real with ourselves. We have privacy with freedom. So I feel like what truly makes some, this is not for everybody, but what truly makes some happy lives within their fantasy world. They're not truly living it in the physical life because of stigma, because of the worry of what others are going to say, just not even trusting themselves. Privacy, keeping it to yourself. It's kind of locked away. Accomplishment, honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Be honest with yourself. What is it that you have accomplished so far that has brought you joy, satisfaction, happiness? Get real honest with yourself. Are you seeking to accomplish things for the accolades, for the titles, for the praise? For the money? Integrity and collaboration. To truly live within your own integrity requires us to not look to outside people and situations to blame for our unhappiness or unfulfillment. It's time to release the blame and live within our own integrity, knowing that we are the ones responsible for our emotions, our lives, our actions, our drives, our thoughts, our judgments, our opinions. Doubt with collaboration. I release the need to know all answers. The way I'm reading collaboration here is to truly collaborate with the universe, with your higher self. But there's been a lot of doubt. That seems too out there, it's too woo-woo, it doesn't feel real to many people. The fact that we have these abilities. But we can get out of our own way by remembering certain experiences that we've all had that you cannot logically explain. It's truly up to each and every individual to do the inner work required to release us from the density, release us from certain patterns, toxicity, to expand our consciousness, our awareness. Suffering in silence. Exactly. So again, suffering in silence, because keeping what actually will give us true freedom, keeping it to ourselves and keeping it in the dream world, in the fantasy world, and not taking the steps to actually live that in true life. That is pure suffering in silence. I feel like I'm speaking to a certain group within the collective right now that may have started to awaken their consciousness, and out of fear, out of just old programming, out of doubt, fell back into old patterns, and they're being urged, they're being pushed, they're being nudged to release themselves, yet they're still being held, suffering in silence, not expressing it to anyone. That's sad. So these individuals truly are not free. They may not even have the ability to see that they're the ones that can open up the cage door and release themselves from entrapment, from suffering in silence. It is frustrating. It's frustrating for me to see, to witness, to experience. But I also remember a time when I was that way. Honesty. Getting real honest with ourselves. Not expecting it from others. Although once you're an honest person with yourself, and just in general, you're going to attract honesty out of everybody and everything. It does take doing the work and becoming very grounded and rooted within yourself. Base chakra also speaks of our safety and our security. Along with accomplishment, it is to show that true accomplishment does not, it is not something to be held on a pedestal. It is not a medal or a, what's the word, trophy to win, a title to acquire. It is truly, I'll show you the cards more, to be in harmony. To be in harmony with yourself, with life, and with others. That is true accomplishment. It is difficult in this world to have true connection, vulnerable, transparent, harmonious confluence. So I feel like there are some that their idea of accomplishment is skewed based off of what they witnessed, what they've been taught, what we've all been taught. Blame and integrity. We have to choose wisely. It is always a choice whether we are going to play the blame game and remain a victim or in victim consciousness, or if we're going to step out of that and release the need to blame and accept responsibility and accountability for our own well-being and our own happiness. That is true integrity. It's always a choice. Sometimes it's such a habitual pattern that we don't even realize we're doing it. But this is asking to really get out of the old mentality, out of the old patterns, recognize them. Prosperity begins at the bottom. So there is a seed that's been planted. It is sprouting. There are two hands here working together to grow and nurture something new. But it requires for each and every one of us to step out of suffering in silence and to acknowledge what truly brings us happiness and peace and harmony. To understand that we alone are responsible for giving ourselves the sense of safety and security that every human being on this planet needs, craves, desires, yearns for. Sometimes we have a false sense of security based off of our past accomplishments, and we can have all these fancy titles and whatever, and that gives some people a very, very false sense of security. And what I'm also hearing is for those people, that sense of security is being taken from them or has been taken from them. So what do? Their instincts tell them, I've got to get back out there and accomplish something else, something new. I need to bring my safety and security back. When really it just comes from internal, within yourself, to do the work, to come back into right balance and harmony with yourself, with the earth, with life, with others. Truly, as a human being, why are you here on this planet? It's not what we've been conditioned and programmed to believe. So let's keep going here. I feel that many of you who listen to this channel, watch these videos, this may actually be geared towards somebody that you know. It might not be exactly for you. This is collective. Although, we all have a degree of these things also still alive and active within us as well. That's the message that I'm getting. There's always an excuse. I'm hearing there's always an excuse. If you're one who always has an excuse as to why you can't do something, why things aren't the way that you want them to, take a deeper look at that. What you're telling yourself. What stories is your mind and your subconscious telling you? Because at any given moment, on any given day, we can make the choice and decision to actually change those things, embody a new way of thinking, perceiving, being. We have two of emotions and Muse of voices. So this freedom, what some are still suffering in silence for is a two-part. The greatest desire is to unite, be in confluence, and love harmonious relationships. It's almost a sense of knowing that the right people are out there, but we're just not fully connecting to them. Where we can truly be ourselves, where we can truly express all of ourselves and be accepted and loved for who we truly are. And one of the reasons why I'm getting is because these are people that are still suffering in silence in old relationships, in old connections. And maybe feeling like that's where they need to be. That's their punishment of sorts. There's a fear of actually expressing this truthfully, honestly. And it's causing a lot of pain and suffering internally. And they can't really quite see exactly their way out. Four of emotions. It's the sense of there's something missing in my life. There's something that nothing feels satisfying anymore. Nothing feels good or right anymore. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. And it's because it's in their blind spot. See, she's got 3 cups with her. 3 cups of emotion with her. But she's kind of like, what is missing? The 4th cup. She's sitting in it. And she can't even see that. The 4th cup. What's been held private and internal, never expressed. The true needs. These are unmet needs from childhood, maybe even. Love. Compassion. Expression. Acceptance. Vulnerability. Free to be me. And this is somebody that's really stuck in their old ways. Stuck in their pain. Okay. Holding on. Bottom of the deck. 4 of materials. Really holding on for dear life to the familiar, which is also cold and void of true feeling. There's a big icy block in the heart, which keeps them in victim consciousness, which keeps them from letting anybody in, which keeps them from expressing their true selves. This is sadness. This is heartbreak. This is just icy cold emotions, pain. And this speaks of someone who just holds on to that pain. That's the only thing that they can actually relate to. Because everything else in life at this point makes no sense. I just got a really sad lump in my throat. Somebody needs to express something. It's almost like they're about to explode. But they keep swallowing it back down. Princess of Cups. It requires getting in touch with the emotions. It's really, really important to understand why we feel what we feel instead of swallowing them back down, shoving them back down because they don't feel good, because it's just a story in my mind. And you know, we humans have all kinds of ways to bypass our true feelings, all sorts of ways, especially this day and age. We can get lost in technology. We can get lost in our fantasies. We can get lost in drugs and alcohol, video games, movies, Netflix binges, you name it, in order to not feel our true feelings. It's important to let all of our true feelings out one way or the other, whether it's talking about them, whether it's writing about them, whether it is creating something to express them, like a song or a poem or a book or whatever works for you. To hear your own emotions coming from yourself. Uncage them. Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is just complete and utter happiness, passion, dreams, desires, fun, happiness, joy, laughter. All the beautiful things that elate us. It's time to really get honest with ourselves as to, if we're not experiencing those things, why? Why are we not experiencing our Ten of Cups if we're not? Like I said, this feels like it's geared towards a very select group within the collective right now. So it may not resonate for you, but it may resonate for somebody that you know or love. Know and love. Why are we not feeling fulfilled and happy? Get real honest with ourselves, deeper than ever before. It's almost like no matter what these people do, they can't seem to get their happy back. They can't seem to find safety within themselves, harmony in their lives, or especially within other connections. Two of Swords at the bottom, Death. Release the blame. Release the victim mentality. Let go of any stories that are causing your heart to shut down and only showing this icy cold side of yourself. Let the transformation happen. It is happening for us, not to us. Many people are really fighting and resisting it and holding on to what is familiar. That's going to cause more pain. Two of Swords. Below that, Ten of Swords. So these are those people who have been on the fence for quite some time, undecided. I doubt, so I'm not really sure. That unknown seems way too scary for me, although it seems like it's the only way to liberate myself at the same time. And just like, that just drives more and more crazy thoughts going on in the mind. There's Mercury and Pluto right there. Most likely has to do with the home life. All right, we're going to get a couple oracle cards for this to wrap this one up. Okay. Oh, okay. We're going to read from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. It's been a while. I might have done it in my last collective read, but it's been a while. Get a final message for this reading here. And like I said, if this doesn't resonate for you, it may resonate for somebody that you are connected to, someone that you may be dealing with at this time. Or so understand that everybody is on their own unique journey here. And if you're waiting around to know all the answers, most likely you're not going to get them. The way the universe works is that we must have trust and faith and take that leap of faith towards what feels good, towards what feels right for us. Then the answers start to show, not before. Into me I see. I like this one, which is intimacy. Speaks of being vulnerable, transparent. At certain precious moments, you're called into a deep and meaningful connection with the world or another person. A magical affinity arises with the kind of intimacy that in turn encourages a greater understanding of yourself. The relationship acts as a mirror, helping you see your own patterns. It just dawned on me. This could be a twin flame reading on divine masculine, divine feminine energy. So if you resonate with that, this could be masculine energy we're reading on. Just wanted to point that out. Could not be. There's other journeys as well, but let's keep going here. The relationship acts as a mirror, helping you see your own patterns. What it reflects about you can further your own personal evolution. Now is the time to take a risk by connecting with another. Can you see how far you've come? Can you see what is still active within you that needs to change or heal? You will discover more about who you are as you discover more about another. Even if you cannot possibly know what it's truly like to be in someone else's shoes, you can listen and learn. This is a magical gift being offered to you right now. This concept applies beyond romantic connection. What do the dynamics in your closest friendships, work relationships, and family say about you? Relationships are extraordinary opportunities for healing. When predicated on honesty and caring, they have a great impact on how you contribute to the world. Intimate relationships hold up a mirror of truth and reveal more treasures than you might ever expect. If you can look into it, take a risk and see everything as beautiful, even in its imperfections. Imagine how deep you could go. Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Because within that dynamic, what I was speaking of, this is a connection of two that is so powerful and so intense that at first the connection is extremely life-changing. And it's almost like you can't even help yourself but be almost obsessed about this connection. And then because we're put into this bubble of energy that unites us with our higher selves, and then we're brought back down to earth, to reality, and have to play out our egos and our patterns and our pain bodies and all of those things. So usually the two will split and go on their own journey. Depending on the phases of the journey and how each individual really works through their patterns and wounds and traumas and really works towards healing. There could be a reconnection, but regardless, it's an important connection anyway, because it allows both people to really evolve and grow and wake up to a lot more of their true selves. Currently in the energy, if we're talking masculine, feminine energies on the planet, many of the those who possess dominant masculine energy. It does not have to be gender, but their energetics are dominantly operating with the left side of the brain and the masculine energy. They're going through quite a struggle right now and really having a hard time freeing themselves from the shackles of their past and maybe their family lineage and other things. Really suffering in silence and not taking all the chances in the journey to get in touch with their deeper emotions and their truth. But they are realizing that other people are being dishonest and that they may have made the wrong choices in the past, just don't really know where to go from here. They're fighting this transformation, yet it's happening anyway. So what I'm seeing from this as well is that they're still really holding on to anything and everything that is familiar to them, because anything else doesn't feel safe to them right now, which is why they're kind of on the fence and undecided as to, how to feel, where to go, what to do. So it is definitely can read that way. So anyway, this is what I have for us for this week. It kind of surprised me as well. I hope that this is helpful for some of you, or possibly all of you. I didn't realize it was going to come out this way, but that's the beauty of it. We never know what messages are coming through until they do. So sending you guys out so much love. Take care. Bye.